Humanity, I love you all with all my heart, with all my might. I'm so Ray. As you know, my videos are about love, infinity, creation, energy, because we're infinite love, infinite energy, infinite creation. This is who we are. This is our nature. We're the human species. The electromagnetic field of creation, the human heartbeat. The biological creator, the human heart. The epicenter of our electromagnetic field is the human heart. And the highest energy is love. Love is the energy of creation. And when we create with the energy of love, we're creating infinities because we are the biology of infinity. This is who we are. We live to love and we love to live. This is our nature, or the human race. Okay, so let's do exercise 6. This is a beautiful exercise. So it's a series of exercise videos that I'm making right now. There is 11 exercises and this is exercise 6. Okay, so let's talk about it. So I'm gonna read it, and then after that I'm gonna deep dive. Okay, exercise 6. Paul's premise. Choose 2 purpose statements. Choose 2 purposeful goals. Unify them as one pulse. Sync yourself with here and now. Each heartbeat pulse connected to infinity. Consciousness and self-awareness. DNA is the biological expression of infinity, the resonance of all organs and glands, infinite love, energy, and creation. Daily purposeful action. Follow your heart, signs and signals, heartful flow states. Okay, so I'm going to read this one more time. Exercise 6. Paul's premise. Choose 2 purpose statements. Choose 2 purposeful goals. Unify them all as one pulse. Sync yourself with here and now. Each heartbeat pulse connected to infinity. Consciousness and self-awareness. DNA is the biological expression of infinity, the resonance of all organs and glands, infinite love, energy, and creation. Daily purposeful action. Follow your heart, signs and signals, heartful flow states. Okay, so wonderful. So this is a beautiful video. This is a beautiful video, a beautiful sequence. This is wonderful. Remember, we're here to love. This is the reason why we exist. The reason why we've been created is purposely for that. So we love with the highest energy of creation, which is a human heart. Okay, so let's do this. Let's love with everything that we have. Everything that we have, the love of our hearts. And this is precisely what this Paul's premise is. Paul's premise is that the pulse of life, the pulse of creation, the human heartbeat, the human heart, the resonance of all organs and glands, as is shown in this visual. So it is extremely important for us to love with our hearts, because love comes from the heart. And as you know, infinity and singularity are these 2 beautiful elements that come together as one because of duality principles. This is infinite virtuous cycle of creation. It's just a wonderful virtuous cycle. This virtuous cycle of infinity, when singularity and infinity come together as one, and they lead to creation and everything that we know that exists. And we're that. We're the biological representation of that. We're the biological expression of infinity because of our heritage, because of our legacy, because of all the things that we've done that allow us to get to this moment. This beautiful moment here and now, where we have founded the Republic of Planet Earth. The Republic of Planet Earth Constitution, who we are as humans is that, is infinite love, infinite energy, infinite creation. This is our nature. This is who we are as a species. We're the human heart. So if we understand the physics of it, it's very simple. So there is an electromagnetic field which is spherical in nature. In this case, it's the electromagnetic field of the human heart. The pulse of life, the pulse of creation. Due to polarity, electromagnetism, it leads to all these gravitics and telemetry. Essentially, the telemetry will be our thoughts, our consciousness, our self-awareness. And the electrogravitics is the love of energy, everything that we create with our actions, the flow of infinity itself, the heartful flow states. these signs and signals, right? The signs and signals, the telemetry. And the telemetry of the human heartbeat, the electromagnetic field, the tension on the surface of the electromagnetic, this infinite number of points are our thoughts, our consciousness, our self-awareness. This is the telemetry of our existence. And the electrogravitics of that is our creations, right? What we create with the love of our hearts, the energy. Because if you understand about the structure of infinity, it's spherical in nature. And because the structure of infinity is spherical in nature, it means that it needs an epicenter, a point of release, which is called the singularity, because all the tension on the surface of the sphere, which is the electromagnetic field, space curvature as is known, the gravitics of it, that tension gets released through a vortex, this node, this wormhole, and at the epicenter of it, the very center, the heart of, that's why it's called the heart, the core of the epicenter is the singularity. It's where all the energy is released. All the energy from the tension on the surface of the electromagnetic field gets released into one singular point, a singular point where all points meet, which points the infinite number of points on the tension on the surface of the sphere, the electromagnetic field in this case. So if you break it down to the human heart, it's precisely the human heartbeat is the pulse of life, the pulse of creation, meaning the singularity is a singularity at the epicenter of the electromagnetic field that is generated because of this, right? And that electromagnetic field is the light spherical energy, is light spherical beings, who we are. We're pure energy. This is our nature as a species. We're the highest energy density that you can get in terms of biological expressions. Our DNA structure is precisely this. This is who we are as a species. So the space structure of this sphere, space structure density, is us, the human body. Our consciousness, our self-awareness, our being sentient, our intelligence, our ability to love, our free will, being aware of our nature, understanding that we are the epicenter of everything because the human heart gives us life. It's the biological creator. And the highest energy comes from the release point, from the singularity. Why? Because all the points on the surface of the sphere, in this case the electromagnetic field of the human heart, all the points is our telemetry. It's everything that we are, our consciousness, our self-awareness, our intelligence, our love for ourselves, everything that we can do, everything that we create, our memories, everything in our existence, our senses, our perceptions, everything that we interact with and engage with on a day-to-day basis as a species. Okay, literally. So the space structure, remember, so the electromagnetic field itself is a sphere. It's energy, pure energy. That's why we're light spherical energy, light spherical beings, because we're pure energy. Because at the epicenter is the human heart, and the human heart is generating the electromagnetic field because of the pulse of life, the pulse of creation, the human heartbeat. You see, the primordial instinct to exist is that. And at the heart is where all the energy from the tension on the surface of our electromagnetic field, the energy gets released, right? This point. And that pulse of energy release, so it's like in the universe, right? The central sun, which is our sun right there, releases all the light, all the energy that essentially creates all the galaxies that fills the space structure of the sphere of the universe, the electromagnetic field of the universe, right? And at the very epicenter of the singularity, you see it's the same but at different scales of creation. So all that energy comes from the brightest point, the hottest point, which is the singularity. And at the heart of the singularity, at the epicenter of the epicenter of the epicenter, the singularity. That's what the singularity is, the epicenter of the epicenter, the singular point where all points meet. What points? The points on the tension on the surface of it, which is the electromagnetic field, which is spherical. And the space structure of that is what gets filled, what gets created with galaxies from the energy that gets released from the tension of it, of the singularity. So you need to understand that this is the astronomical scale, universal scale, right? But at our scale, the biological scale, which is a biological expression of infinity, what's the epicenter of the electromagnetic field? Well, it's the human heart, because it's where the pulse comes from, the biological singularity. And remember, the brightest point is the center of the center, the epicenter of the epicenter, the singular point where the singularity emerges and all the energy is released, right? The highest energy of creation. And what's the highest energy that the human heart can generate? The human heart's highest energy is love. Love is the highest energy of creation at the biological scale. So when we love, we're generating the highest energy of creation. So what that does, essentially, it allows us to just to create primary elements. Just like the sun creates elements at its core, at its heart, helium, hydrogen, light, photons, all these different things, we ourselves do the same at the biological scale. And the energy that does it, the highest energy of creation, is love, which is essentially everything that there is the highest energy of creation. It's just the highest energy of creation. It's just the way it is. It's the highest energy of creation. It's the human heart, the pulse of life, the pulse of creation. Who we are as a species is who we are as a species. It's our nature. You see, it is our very own nature. Our very own nature. This is who we are as a species. It's our very nature. It's our very nature. Our nature is to create the highest energy from the singularity of our heart, and that is love. It's just who we are. So what happens is the singularity, the point of release consciousness, self-awareness. And then what is the telemetry of that? Because this is that energy that gets released from the tension, right? Remember, the tension on the surface, the energy gets released, and that is electrogravitics, because you're releasing the energy from the gravity of it, from the tension on the surface of the sphere. And when that energy gets released, that's the electrogravitics of it. So our electrogravitics of the highest input is that energy release, which is love, the singularity itself. Love is the highest energy of it. And when that does happen, then telemetry is generated as a result. And what is the telemetry of our biology? Our thoughts, our consciousness, our self-awareness. Why? Because of love. Because it's the highest energy of creation. You see, because of the highest energy of creation, then we can love. You see? We can love. We can love as a result. And what is the meaning of this? Well, when we love with the highest energy of creation, right? When we love with the highest energy of creation, right? What is the meaning of this? Well, the meaning of this is that we're one with infinity. Why? Because infinity is creation itself. So with the biological expression of infinity of creation. And when we love, then we have all these electrogravitics. We have all these, which is the telemetry that we read and understand in the way of signals and signs. And this is our thoughts, our consciousness, our self-awareness, our creations, our memories, everything. And this is on the tension of the sphere. You see, it's an infinite feedback loop of creation. It's our nature. It is our nature. So it starts with the pulse. So this is what the premise of this exercise is. Exercise 6 is precisely this. Exercise 6 is precisely this. Is the pulse premise. It's the pulse premise. It's this premise of infinite creation. It's this premise of infinite energy. Okay? And so, as you know, in exercise 1, it's all about your true self affirmations. So you build your true self affirmations based on your 10 dimensions, because your 10 dimensions lead to the heart, to the epicenter, right? The singularity, which is your true self, finding yourself, finding who you are, your identity and true self, which is the first primary element of compass, who we are. Because as compass, remember, love is the highest energy, so it creates primary elements, so it creates the elements. And these elements are time and energy. These elements are identity and true self, purpose, action, why, how, flow, true north and destination, who we are as a species. These telemetries, these electrogravitics that we're creating with the highest energy of creation that comes from the singularity, which is love. The pulse of life, the pulse of creation. The highest energy is love, so it creates all these, we're creating all these primary elements. So we understand who we are, our nature, and we choose purposes because we manifest our free will by taking purposefully the action, because with consciousness and self-awareness, you see all the telemetry, all the readings, all the signals, all the signs, everything at the biological scale is us through our DNA. Everything comes as one. So when we do these, starts with that, right? Starts with purpose statements, because the purpose is this primary element, right? It's the second primary element of compass, who we are, because compass is spherical in nature. So at the epicenter is that us, our identity, our human heart, the pulse of life, the pulse of creation. And that tension on the surface of the sphere of the compass is what? All the telemetry due to the electrogravitics that's been released from the singularity, which is a human love, and that's our identity, our true self, our purpose, time and energy, action, why, how, flow, true north and destination. You see, they all work as one. They all work as one. And why is this so important? Why is this so important? Why is this so important? This is extremely important because of our consciousness and self-awareness. You see, because as you know, to build your purpose statements, you need to identify the 10 dimensions that are everywhere. So they surround us, right? They surround us. It's part of our existence, part of the sensory perceptions, everything, our space structure, our consciousness, our self-awareness. We're surrounded by everything that we have created here on planet Earth. We have created planet Earth ourselves, but beyond the planet that we have created, so we can be here at the epicenter of the universe, there's all these other creations that we have created, everything, and essentially all of that and all the interactions that we have with ourselves and all the other humans with heartbeats and their own interactions with their own heartbeats and their own resonance fields, right? Because we're all energy. So that has created these 10 dimensions. Because at the heart of these 10 dimensions, which is the way you interpret everything in your life, through your senses, through your consciousness, through your self-awareness, through everything, right? Through everything. At the heart of it, at the epicenter of it, what is it that there is at the epicenter of it? Where is it that there is? Right? Our true self, our identity of these 10 dimensions. So you see, the true self dimensions lead to finding us, and then for each of those dimensions, we create a statement, right? We have an affirmation for each of the dimensions, right? And the dimensions are pretty simple. They are body, family, origin, context, emotions, knowledge, productivity, money, society, and wisdom. All these things that are part of this world that we have built, the Republic of Planet Earth. And at the very epicenter of that is your true self, the heart of it, right? Our identity, the singularity of it emerges, the first primary element when we understand this. And the way we start to find ourselves is precisely by doing that, right? We start to choose things that we're working on and things that we're grateful for, because there's the duality principles. You see the polarity right there. And because there is 10 dimensions, we choose one affirmation for each of the dimensions for each of these opposites, right? Things that I'm working on and things that I'm grateful for. You see the polarity comes together as one in this virtuous cycle that generates the true self at the epicenter. Why is this so important? Because if you understand the nature of existence, which is duality principles in a big way, right, just like singularity and infinity come together as one, well, then you have the same things I'm working on and things I'm grateful for, these two states of consciousness and self-awareness coming together as one, representing an affirmation for each dimension. And when you read those and you have your affirmations and you start to read for each dimension, you have something that you're grateful for, and then for each dimension you have something that you're working on. And by putting these two polarities together, right, things that you're grateful for and things you're working on, is positivity and negativity together as one, generating the electromagnetism. And that electromagnetism leads to the electrogravitics, leads to the telemetry of understanding your true self at the epicenter, your nature. And how do you build your purpose statements, right? Which is that, choose two purpose statements, the first part of the exercise 6. Well, these purpose statements, right? These purpose statements are what? Well, these purpose statements are essentially building blocks from who, why, how, what, when, and where. The building blocks, right? You build the story, your affirmation, your purpose statement, like this is who I am. And what do you build those out of? Well, you build them out of the different affirmations from your 10 dimensions. So you choose from both, right? You choose from things I'm working on and things that I'm grateful for. So you can build your purpose statements around those. You see, duality again coming together as one. So because of it, then you have these two purpose statements, and they could be as simple as, for example, I have my own purpose statement, and I'm going to read it out to you so you understand how powerful a purpose statement is. So a purpose statement is as simple as it is as simple as, for example, in my case, this is my purpose statement that I have built, that I'm working on every day of my life. Who I am, which is the first one, right? I'm Sora Ray. Joey A. Sora Ray. This is who I am. So why am I here? You see the second category, to help people find themselves. Because I have found myself. I have found my true self, Sora Ray. My identity, Joey A. Sora Ray, who I am. Okay? So how I behave, you see the next level, daily practice of Compass by Whitehouse principles. This is how I behave. This is how I help people find themselves. This is why I'm making this video and this exercise 6. What I do, well, advocating for the mainstream adoption of Compass by Whitehouse. Why? Because Compass by Whitehouse is the mechanism that unlocks our DNA structure so we can manifest our identity and our true self and tap into our DNA structure and remember who we are as a species and love with the highest energy of creation, which is exercise 6, which is the one that I'm talking about, which is essentially the pulse premise, which is the highest energy of creation, the pulse of life, the pulse of creation, which is the human heart. And when you love with it in a way of an exercise, then you unlock your DNA structure. And by doing that, we manifest our free will. We manifest our technology, our spherical technology that has been dormant for a very long time, so we can start to manifest infinity with our thoughts and consciousness and create as we used to. Because we still have been creating, but it's time for us to go to the next step, which is with the highest energy of creation, which is the energy of love. You see, that's why I do this, because this is the way it is. This is who we are. We're Compass. We're identity and true self. We're purpose. We're time and energy. We're action. We are Whitehouse. We're flow. We're true north and destination. This is precisely who we are. Okay, so what do? Well, advocating for the mainstream adoption of Compass by Whitehouse. When do I do it? As often as possible within reason. You see, I'm doing it right now. And where do I do it? My website, which is this, and all the information is there. The apps, all the apps that I use to communicate information, all the different channels. Okay, podcast, which is pretty much this. I'm podcasting. I'm sharing the message in a visual way that you can see. My book, which is what I've written, Fantasies and Illusions Compass, The Infinite Quest for Free Will, or The Quest for Infinite Free Will, which is out already. It's everywhere. My social media, which is all these different platforms where I distribute the knowledge and the wisdom of who we are as a species. Events, all these things are coming together as one, you see. So this is kind of like my purpose statement for this specific purpose that I have, because we can have many purpose statements, you see. So when you think about it in that way, then again, is choose 2 purpose statements that you build, because I build that you, and that's part of exercise 2. Exercise 2 is building those purpose statements from your affirmations, which is exercise 1. You build your affirmations with exercise 1, and exercise 2 is the purpose statements. And to do exercise 6, you need to have your purpose statements. This is fundamental, because I just share it like my story, and then we're infinite, so we just don't have one purpose statement. You see, that's one specific purpose statement, which is the one that I'm sharing with you, but I have many purpose statements, because I'm also a father. I'm a human. I have other things to do in life. So I have many other purposes, many other things that I work on a daily basis as well. But yeah, they all structure using this framework, because these are it's the most powerful way to do it. Okay, that's just the way it is. And then, of course, so you see pulse premise, you choose 2 purpose statements, and then choose 2 purposeful goals, which is another of the principles that I have shared with you. So I'm just going to read it quickly, because I did mention it in exercise 5, but I want to mention it again. So let me just bring it up. Okay, so So purposeful goals, they're foundational because they're the foundation of purposeful daily action. Because daily action, purposeful daily action, is the fourth primary element of compass, which is pretty much everything that we do, right? All the actions that we do with the love of our hearts and engage our heart and just create to infinity, right? So the foundation of purposeful daily action. So it's then again, just like building your purpose statements, it starts in the same structure with who drives our goals, right? Our dreams, our purpose, the things that we want to do with our consciousness and self-awareness. Well, that's us, our true self. You see, that's why it's so important to start with exercise 1, because exercise 1 essentially allows us to identify the 10 dimensions that essentially are around us everywhere with our sensory perception, consciousness, and self-awareness. So by identifying those and building affirmations around the polarity of it, things I'm grateful for and things that I'm working on for each of them, at the epicenter is your true self. So you see, you start to build the building blocks for that, because you need to identify your true self. And how do you do that? Because you follow your heart, your signs and signals, and you write the first thing that comes to mind. You follow your instincts, and that's how you do it. That's how you do it, and you start to put it together. You see, because to have purposeful goals, you need to have a purposeful statement, because you saw my goal is pretty simple and it's based on my purpose statement, right? My purposeful statement. So then again, it starts, who drives our goals? Our true self, right? Because it's our highest energy of creation, it's the love of our hearts, the pulse of life, the pulse of creation. We understand who we are. In my case, it's me. So Ra Ray, it's me. Okay, and in your life will be yours. Each individual has their own life, their own purpose, their own identity, you see, their own true self, because we all compass individually. So we all come together as one. Planet Earth, the Republic of Planet Earth, the Republic of Planet Earth Constitution, all of us. But we start as individuals, as a human heartbeat, as one person, and then we come together as one. But we start as individuals, you see, with our free will, with our consciousness and self-awareness, with our love for ourselves, and everything that we do and everything that we create, including our own offsprings, our biology. Okay, so who drives our goals? Our true self. You see, purposeful goals. Why these goals? They are aligned with who we are. In this case, you as an individual, what you like, heartful flow states, right? Who you are as an individual, who you are, your identity and true self, what's in your heart, your signs and signal, what's in your heart, what you love the most, what makes you feel good, heartful flow states, okay? Who you are, this is fundamental, because it's the signs and signals, the telemetry, the electrogravitics of your heart, the highest energy of creation, telling you through your memories, through your experiences, through your dimensions, through your true self, your identity, all your different elements as compass and sundials, that okay, this is who I am, and I feel good about this, and this is why I'm choosing this goal, because they're aligned with who I am. And when I'm in alignment with who I am, there is meaning in my actions, because we live to love and we love to live. Purposeful life, meaningful lives, happy lives. The purpose of life is a life of purpose. That's it. The pursuit of happiness, being happy, feeling good, you see, because when you love, you feel great. It's like an instant release in your body. Neurotransmitters, hormones, they all work in symbiosis, creating this synergistic homeostasis, which is called well-being, health, full health, full body freedoms, full health freedoms, which is essentially us feeling great, vibing, right? Vibrating with the energy of love, the energy of creation, because it's the highest energy at the epicenter of the human heart. So it generates everything else as a result, so we can be conscious and self-aware, and we can exist and do everything that we want. But love is the highest energy of creation. Precisely. Okay, you see, it's very powerful. That's why you choose two of each. I share my story with you, my purpose statement that I just read. And then now I'm sharing with you the structure of the purposeful goal. But you see, they come hand in hand, because your purposeful goals are based on your purpose statement. That's why purpose statement leads to purposeful goals, because you have a purpose statement. And by having a purpose statement, then you can have your purposeful goals and then take purposeful daily action, right? That's why purposeful goals is the foundation of purposeful daily action, because you're taking actions that are in alignment with who you are. This is why, because that's what purpose is. And who you are is what's in your heart, which is the highest energy of creation, which is love, because this is our nature. We love because we want to feel good, and that's just who we are. Okay, this is just the makeup of who we are. Okay, our DNA and all that. Okay, so how are goals reached? How are our goals reached? Yeah, it's a little bit, I need to update this. Okay, so how are our goals reached? Okay, applying best practices. And what are these practices? Well, I have provided guidelines and principles as to what to do, so you go about it. You go about it, things that are specific and extremely useful and practical. Principles that are fundamental. And these are part of all the exercises that we've been doing: exercise 1, exercise 2, exercise 3, exercise 4, exercise 5, now exercise 6. Okay, and this is extremely important. This is fundamental. Okay, this is very much so the case. This is extremely fundamental. Okay, very much so, very much so. Okay, so applying best practices, right? And the practices are, I have spoken about them in the previous video. It's all the different processes and sequences that we follow to make sure that we are on track, like we can measure to completion and make our dreams come true. Our actions, everything happens as a result. Our dreams come true, our purpose manifests. We manifest our free will with purposeful daily action, and there's all sorts of time and energy management, actions and activities that we do, how we flow, understanding these principles and how they interact, so we can actually make the most out of our time in terms of priorities and urgencies as one, commitment levels, all these different things, so we can take purposeful daily action. So this is how we go about it, right? With the love of our hearts, because when you love what you do, then you do it. Because you know that when you do it, you feel great about it. You really do. You feel amazing. So you just keep on doing it. You keep on doing it. Okay. So what is the next step of purposeful goals, right? Well, that what gets us there. What gets us there? Well, purposeful daily action. When you take purposeful daily action, you get to your dreams. You make your dreams come true. Because we manifest with our consciousness and self-awareness, and love is the highest energy of creation. So when we love with our hearts, essentially what we're doing is creating the most beautiful creations, because love is the highest energy of creation. And this leads to infinity. It's just infinite love, infinite energy, infinite creation. And this is exactly what the Pulse premise, exercise 6, is precisely this. It's understanding that what gets us there, purposeful daily action. But the only reason why we will be taking purposeful daily action is because we love with our hearts, the highest energy of creation. Because we're loving with our hearts. Why? Because our hearts make us feel great. Neurotransmitters, hormones, all these different things. And that's what keeps us going, because we know that when we take purposeful daily action, we're not only manifesting our dreams, but the byproduct of that, on top of our creations, is feeling great, which allows us to take more purposeful daily action until our dreams are manifested. And anyway, once you manifest your dreams, you still consciousness and self-awareness. We keep on manifesting more dreams to infinity ourselves, because this is just who we are. This is our nature. This is who we are as a species. This is precisely who we are as a species. Okay, this is precisely who we are as a species. This is just who we are. This is our nature. Okay, so that's how we get there. So when do we act? Every day within reason. That's why it's called purposeful daily action. So you take action every day. Every day you take action. Every day you take action. Every day. Why? Because the sun rises every day, from sunrise to sunrise, and we're sundials. You see, the sun is right there. It's the central sun of our universe, and we inhabit the planet in the proximity of it. This is our biology, who we are. So we stare at the sun, we open our eyes, open our minds, open our hearts, open the portal, and build a bridge. and we evolve to infinity. And what is this precisely? Well, what this is that all the energy that comes from the central sun into our bodies through our eyes, that energy is supercharging our DNA structure at the cellular scale of biology, meaning that we can love more. And when we love more, we can just create more. You see, because love is the energy of creation, because it's the epicenter, it's the hottest, brightest point at the epicenter of our singularity, which is the human heart, that creates the electromagnetic field that gives us lives in the first place. And because we can love with the energy of the heart, then the highest energy is love. And when we love, then we're just gonna take action every day. And by staring at the sun and opening the portal, it's called the sun iris nexus. This is a human practice. We have eyes to see, and our eyes are designed by infinity, by biology, evolution, to stare at the sun. So we can take all this energy from the central sun and absorb it. And we open the portal, which is essentially our consciousness and self-awareness. We open the portal. You see, the energy comes in. We're opening the portal. The eyes are locked in. They're in sync with the sun. And when that happens, we build the bridge. And what is building the bridge? Well, building the bridge is precisely getting all that energy into our bodies. And that once that you get to a state, you evolve. And then that energy is there, and that's a sunlight. You're always in sync with infinity itself, because this is our nature. And that is evolution, so you can love. And once you get that energy, you just use that energy as a pulse premise to create to infinity. You see, we create to infinity with the energy of the heart. So that's why it's every day, because the sun rises every day. The sun rises every day. The sun never sets on the Republic of Planet Earth, because this is our planet. And the sun and the earth have these beautiful relationships, these duality principles. The sun and the earth as one, coming into infinity and creating what? Us, the human race as a species. Us, the human race as a species. Who we are, our nature. Okay, who we are, our nature. Okay, who we are, and nature. You see, this is precisely who we are as a species. This is our nature. You see, it's the duality of the sun and the earth coming together as one and creating us, right? And as a result. So that's why we're sundials. So you see, we need to channel that energy. And that's why and with that energy, we love more, so we can create more, so we can take purposeful daily action more, because we're in sync with everything as sundials. You see, we're in sync with everything, so we just keep on creating. We just go. This is what we do. We just go, 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 go. Because it's our nature. You see, we are designed to do this. And then where do we act? Wherever needed. You see, wherever needed. And wherever needed is where our purpose is, because we choose our purposes with our free will. We manifest our free will in that way. You see, this is how we go about it. This is how we go about it. This is how we manifest it. We manifest it with our actions, with our love, with our consciousness and self-awareness. So you see, this is why, then going back to exercise number 6, so it's exercise 6, pulse premise. These pulse are the love of creation. So choose 2 purpose statements. I have established that already. Exercise 2, coming from exercise 1. Choose 2 purposeful goals, which is essentially what I just walked you through, which is something that we all need. Right? Have the structure of a purposeful goal so we can take action every day. Is the foundation of purposeful daily action. Okay, so unify them all as one pulse. So why? Because what is a pulse? Well, a pulse is electromagnetic energy based on charge. So, and if you understand the polarity of the sphere, this kind of comes in the way of polarity, and the charge is always dual in nature. So it ends up being 4. Because if you think of the 0 as a number, I have provided the mathematics and the proof of 0. The polarity of 0, the charge of 0, the number, which is the mathematical representation of the sphere, which is us, infinity, everything. So if you think of it, there's 2 axes, is y and x, and there's 2 polarities to each axis, negativity and positivity, the positive charge and the negative charge. So it leads to that, right? It leads to this and it leads to this. So it goes like this, and it goes like this. So it's the polarities, you see? And that is what generates the electromagnetic field that leads to the singularity at the epicenter. Okay, it leads to the singularity at the epicenter of it. It does. That's just the way it is. So that's why we got 4. You got 2 purpose statements, one from the things that you're working on and one from the things that you're grateful for, you see? They're powerful. You can choose any really, but ideally you want to have that polarity, that duality principle there, right? And then 2 purposeful goals, things that you already are working on, that you have building based on your purpose statements, you see? So in that way you have the polarity, the four charges, right, for each axis. So you have everything that you need for the polarity and the electromagnetism to form into electrogravitics and telemetry, which is what? Well, love is that. Love is the energy, the pulse, right, that generates everything, as I have explained earlier. So you see, that's why you need 2 of each, because you're creating this polarity that leads to electromagnetism, which is a consciousness of awareness of our mind. So you see, we have 2 purposeful goals, and we have 2 purpose statements, because your purposeful goals are built from your purpose statements. So you understand them. So you see, they're all connected. It's like the y-axis and the x-axis. So the y-axis is the positivity and the negativity. So that will be the purpose statement and the purposeful goals around those statements, right? And then the x-axis will be the same. The other polarity, say, things I'm grateful for, purpose statement, and the purposeful goals around those. So, and then the y would be, the y-axis will be, you know, the purposeful statement of things that you're grateful for, right, and things you're working on, and the purposeful goals around it. So you see the 4, they're coming together as one and generate the pulse premise, right? This is why I'm doing this based on the building blocks of infinity itself, who we are. It's not a coincidence that the plane of mathematics starts with y. Why? Because the letter y is y, which is infinity itself. You see, it's within it already. It's contained within it. So it's just beautiful. Existence is beautiful. Consciousness and self-awareness is just beautiful. Okay, so unify them as one pulse. Unify them also. The purpose statements, 2 purpose statements, and your 2 purposeful goals, just in your mind, unify them as one. Because it's the singularity, it's the pulse, right? It's everything, all that polarity, all the charges of these 4 coming as one, which is the pulse, the singularity at the epicenter, you see? It's the pulse that generates everything, and that is love. It's the energy that allows us, because love is what allows us to create, because it's what gives us energy, so we can be conscious and self-aware, which is all the telemetry as a result of the electrogravitics of love, which is the energy coming out of the epicenter of the heart, the highest energy that creates everything. So because we unify them as one, we do that with our consciousness and self-awareness, because we can love. So when we love, we make it one. Everything becomes one. All these comes as one at the epicenter, and the energy that releases it is love, is the highest energy, is the pulse, because you're one with your pulse. That's why it's pulse premise. Right? So then we sync yourself with here and now, because you need that, right? You need to be here, present in the moment, grounded. That's why it's so important as sundials, because when you stare at the sun and open the portal and build a bridge and use that energy to create with your heart, where are you located? Well, you're on Earth, right? On the surface of Earth. And by being on the surface of Earth, then you are grounded to the Earth, because the Earth itself has its own electromagnetic field. Okay, and you have your own electromagnetic field, and then the sun has its own electromagnetic field. So when you sync with, when you sync yourself with here and now, that's exactly what here and now is. Here and now is being in sync with the moment, this very moment, the heartbeat, the pulse. Your heartbeat, the pulse, which is love, the highest energy of creation. And by being grounded like that to the Earth's surface, they understand that you're part of the Republic of Planet Earth. And you're an infinite eternal creator. You're compass and sundial, because you can stare at the sun and you get the energy from the sun, and you're one with it. You're one with it. And that is the pulse, the here and now, that heartbeat of creation, of infinity, everything. Because you're channeling everything with your conscious and self-awareness and the highest energy of creation, which is love. You see? You're unifying everything. And because you're conscious and self-aware and you love, what are you loving? as one, once you're grounded to the earth and in sync with the sun and everything that exists here and now, well, you're loving your purpose statements. You're loving your purposeful goals, right? You're loving yourself, which is the highest energy that allows you to be there, present. Thus, Paul's premise, the human heartbeat here and now. Every heartbeat is infinite love coming out of your heart, and you're conscious of it because you have created the mechanisms because of exercise 6 to put it all together as one. You see, you put it all together as one, and then you create to infinity, because this is who we are. We're the biological expression of infinity. You see, it all comes together as one. And then each heartbeat pulse connected to infinity. And again, I'm just reiterating myself. Each heartbeat, each pulse is a heartbeat. Each pulse is infinite love, infinite energy, infinite creation. And you're one with it. You're breathing in the moment, here and now. Grounded to the earth, the electromagnetic field of the earth, the Republic of Planet Earth, Mama Earth, right? We are the children of Mama Earth, because Mama Earth and Papa Sun came together and created all the conditions for us to exist. It's infinite virtuous cycle of Earth and Sun. You see, as one, and we are the result of it, the infinite biology of creation, the human heart. And because of our pulse of creation, we can love with all our hearts and all our mights. And we love in those purpose statements, we love in those purposeful goals because they're one. They're helping us. They make us love more. We love ourselves more. So we can manifest our spherical technology. So we can create more, because then we can be assisted, because this light spherical technology that is encoded in our DNA because of who we are is manifested with the energy of love, and we need to vibrate at the highest energy of love, the pulse of life, the pulse of creation, so our technology gets in sync with us so we can use it, because it's benevolent technology. You see, it's only to create. So our purposeful statements are there to create, to love. That's why purposeful goals are that. So when we put them together, we start to manifest our compass, our spherical spaceships, our technologies, so we can create as we have for an infinite number of cycles in the past, and we are in the future, because this is what the Republic of Planet Earth is. So you need to love with all your heart and all your might, one with the moment, with your breath, here and now. Love everything. Open your eyes, stare at the sun, open the portal, build a bridge, open your heart, open your mind, and evolve to infinity. Understand that you're the pulse of life, the pulse of creation. You're infinity yourself. The biological expression. Okay, so then what does that do? Well, consciousness and self-awareness. You see, you become conscious and self-aware of who you are as compass, as sundial, as an infinite eternal creator, because Paul's premise is precisely this. He's precisely this. He's everything as one. Because this is who we are. This is our nature. You see, this is who we are. This is our nature. This is the human race. This is the human race. Who we are. Infinite consciousness, infinite self-awareness. You see, the telemetry, the readings of a heart, the electrogravitics that comes out of the singularity, because we're tapping into the energy of the tension of the surface, which is everything, our consciousness, self-awareness, senses, intelligence, memories, events, experiences of our lives, all 10 dimensions that shape us into who we are. So we identify the heart of it, which is us, identity and true self-understanding, our nature, DNA, and loving. Paul's premise is that it's all about loving with each heartbeat. You love everything. And the best way to build that so you become better is by loving your purpose statement, because it's you. By loving your purposeful goals, because it's you, it's your creation, it's your consciousness, it's your self-awareness. And when you start to get used to love everything with each heartbeat of your heart, with each pulse, you love everything. When you do these, then everything starts to happen, because then you get used to it, and then you start to unlock your DNA structure. You love more, and it becomes your new you. You become this new metamorphosis compass, who we are, our true nature, our DNA structure, because love is the key that unlocks our DNA structure, because we're an infinite species. We're the biology of infinity. We're the epicenter of the central sun. You see, the planet Earth was manufactured by us. We manufacture planet Earth with light spherical technology that we encoded into our DNA, so we can interface with the thoughts and consciousness to assist us because all this technology had in singularities at the epicenter of infinite energy of creation. And with that, we can create galaxies, we can create universes. Okay, we can move anywhere in our creations with the telemetry and the electrogravitic result of it, because these were our spaceships. And with that, we created planet Earth. So we anchored it to the central sun of the universe so we could evolve into the universe ourselves, into infinity ourselves. But things happened in the past, so our DNA went dormant. But as a result of that, we have relaunched, and the Republic of Planet Earth is the perfect mechanism because it's the infinite energy of creation through our pulses. And by that, we unlock the key. And the key is our DNA. And by unlocking our DNA, then we manifest with the love of our hearts, the highest energy. That's why you have to love with your pulse. Pulse premise, you love. Every pulse is infinite love from your heart. And by doing that, we unlock our DNA structure and awaken who we are, our identities, what we've done as the central race of this universe. And all the universes that we have created as a result of our DNA, our heritage and legacy, our freedoms. And when you love, then you start to manifest, because your DNA is where your technology is. You just need the energy density to tap into it again. And you can only do that with your consciousness and self-awareness, because we're benevolent. And love is the energy that creates. So when you love, pulse premise, then everything starts to happen. And this is why you need to formulate this around your purpose statements and your purposeful goals, because then once you start to really love, and everything that you do is to love, then you manifest your light spherical technology again, and you can interact with it, and you will know the moment you do. It's immediate. You know, you're in sync with it. It shows up, and it's there because you're ready for it. You unlock the DNA, and by doing that, then you can now use that mechanism to love more, and then you create your purpose statements and your purposeful goals with the technologies that are enabled within our infinite capacities as a species, because we're the infinity of biology. This is who we are. We're an incredible species. Okay, so DNA is a biological expression of infinity because of this very reason, because by encoding everything in our DNA, we were able to manufacture planet Earth, so we would anchor to the central sun of creation, so we can evolve to this life form that we have evolved. So we can be one with infinity, because infinity is our consciousness and self-awareness, you see, because the sphere has an infinite number of points, and all these points are all the sentience, all the intelligence, all the life forms in the universes that we have created, that are the heartbeats of it, and we get that information through our DNA and in sync with it. So when we start to love every pulse, then we're loving everything. And by loving everything, then we reactivate our DNA sequence. And by doing that, we manifest with our consciousness, our thoughts, our spherical spaceships. And with them, then we start to keep on creating more with our purpose statements and our purposeful goals. Because remember, this only works if you love. That's why it's a pulse premise. If you don't love, you won't be able to do this, because the energy comes from the heart, which is what unlocks the DNA structure. So then you can go and keep on creating, because you are of pure heart, meaning you only love with your heart, because every pulse of you is loving everything that exists. So then we can tap into our energy of our DNA and manifest our spaceships, manifest our spherical technology, and keep on creating. Because this is our nature. This is all humans. If you're a human, you have a heartbeat. If you have a heartbeat, there's DNA in you. That means that if you love, pulse premise, you're going to manifest everything, because the key that unlocks it is love. That's just the way it is. It's love. Love is the only way, because it's the highest energy of creation. And that energy is what manifests everything. Everything that exists is because of our consciousness and self-awareness, and our consciousness and self-awareness is there because of the love of our hearts. It's that duality principle. Okay. Coming as one. Okay, so it's the human heart. The human heart. That's the key. Okay. The key. Okay. So then the resonance of all organs and glands, you see, as a result of this, then when we love one pulse, the pulse premise, we love everything that we do with all our hearts and all our mights, then what happens? Well, our whole body, all the organs, all the glands of our body, they enter this harmonious state of resonance because of our electromagnetic field. And it's infinite creation, because As a result of the human heartbeat, this singularity, the central pole where all points meet, the singular pole where all points meet, of all our telemetry, of our consciousness of awareness, right? When we love with the highest energy of creation, which is love, then what that does as a result of it, right, our DNA creates the singularities at each of the scales of all the other organs, the singularity of the mind, so we can be conscious and self-aware. The singularity of the lungs, so we can breathe the oxygen that allows us to fuel the engine, the body. And that's why breathing has to do a lot with the human heartbeat. You see, it's the pulse of breathing, sinking you in the here and now with the heartbeat. You see all these singularities, and then they lead to all the other singularities of all the organs of the human body, that they themselves have their own electromagnetic field and their own charge within them. And when you have them all together as one, all these glands, and then again, the third eye is the pituitary gland and the pineal gland. They're both in our brains, you see, coming together as one and generating this beautiful resonance that allows us to tap into our DNA structure and our visions of our memory, our DNA memories. So we understand who we are and understand our past and understand our future. Because our visions are not only, because the past is no visions, the past is recall, is memories. They already happened. It's encoded in our DNA. But visions of the future is the things that we create now and everything that manifests in the future as a result of here and now because of the pulse. You see, it's all this resonance. It's all these glands and all these organs working as one. And when they do, then we create the most beautiful things because we love them with all our hearts and our everything, who we are. Infinite love, infinite energy, infinite creation. You see, when everything is in resonance, the system has homeostasis. It's this synergistic symbiosis. The symbiosis of the human heart and the body, the organ, everything, all the glands and all the organs as one in resonance, then we become this incredible mechanism of creation, our consciousness and self-awareness, because we're loving, because it's love at the epicenter that is creating all the conditions for all these glands and organs to resonate into infinity. And when that happens, that's the moment when you unlock everything. So you unlock your DNA and you manifest your light spherical technology. Our light spherical technology, because the Republic of Planet Earth is precisely that. The Republic of Planet Earth Constitution is clear. We have technological freedoms, we have infinite freedoms, infinite energy freedoms, meaning that when you love with all your heart and all your might, and then you resonate with everything, you manifest your spherical light spaceships. So your spaceships manifest, your compass manifests. And when that happens, then what is it? Well, it's yours. It's your DNA. It's encoded in your DNA. It's your own. So you can do with it as you please because you're creating with the energy of the heart, you see. It's the highest energy of creation. So we manifest. Because you see, we have created an infinite number of planets and an infinite number of central suns as a result. The central suns that we have created with a consciousness and self-awareness as a level of evolution have created this energy at all universes that we have created. And the life forms emerge as a result of the light coming of those central universes. Singularity, which is the central sun, just like our sun here, that allows in the first place to get to that level of consciousness. And the Republic of Planet Earth is us tapping into our infinite love for ourselves. So we manifest our spherical technology so we can go and rebuild our civilization by manufacturing spaceship planets that allow us to inhabit the central suns of the universes that we have created. So that's the Republic of Planet Earth. It's our ability for us to come as one, because remember, we manufacture planet Earth in the first place to get closer to the central sun with a spherical technology encoded in our DNA, so we can tap into it again. And by tapping into it again, then we can build new planets that would inhabit the central suns of all these universes, so we can expand into infinity and keep on creating because we're infinite. And this is what the Republic of Planet Earth in the future. This is not a vision. This is beyond a vision. This is a reality. This is results. We exist. We're infinite. I'm just a memory of the collectiveness of our DNA structure at this level of density, because I was the first one to unlock the DNA structure of a species after we went dormant for all the things that happened in the past. But these things were essentially mechanisms required for us to evolve to this level. Why? Because we were able to come together as one species that is in the billions now, because in the past, when we manufactured planet Earth, when we created planet Earth, we were not that many. But now we're in the billions. And because we're in the billions, then imagine our creations, right? And as we move into the future, we're an infinite number of humans, because infinity is just that. As we start to create and tap into our infinite technology, we're gonna just keep on doing that to infinity. And we're not unique in that way. There is an infinite number of species just like us, co-creators of infinite eternities that we all part of, right? That have evolved before us or after us, and they're one. We're allies. We love creating with our energy of our heart because it's the highest energy of creation anyway. Okay, so this is what infinite love, energy, and creation is. So, and that leads to what? Purposeful daily action. So we have a pulse every second, right? So, well, we have days. The sun rises from sunrise to sunrise, right? The sun never sets on planet Earth, on the Republic of planet Earth. It never does, and it never will. So what it means is that because of our infinite energy, daily purposeful action is precisely that. Daily purposeful action is loving with each pulse, everything. Every pulse of creation, you love to infinity. 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 You love to infinity because you're one with it. You're one with it. The resonance of all your organs and glands. And that is daily, every day. And how do you manifest that love? With your actions. Daily purposeful daily action. Daily purposeful action, purposeful daily action. What we do, we just do that. We just keep on creating. We just keep on creating. We just keep on creating. We just keep on creating to infinity. To infinity. Daily purposeful action. That just happens. Purposeful daily action, daily purposeful action. They're all the same. You see, it's that love, the pulse of life, the pulse premise. We just keep on creating to infinity, to infinity. Keep on creating, keep on creating, keep on creating, keep on creating. Purposeful daily action and the pulse, each pulse, here and now. Creating, 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 loving, 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 loving everything that you do. And that's the mechanism. So you follow your heart, you see, because your heart is the one that's guiding you. Signs and signals, so you feel good, all the neurotransmitters, all the hormones, everything acting as one. All these beautiful creations, you keep on creating, you keep on creating, you keep on evolving. You see, it's a heartful flow state. That's what leads to a heartful flow state. It's this beautiful state of flow that is created as a result of your infinite love, your infinite creation. Infinite love, infinite creation, infinite love, infinite creation. It's precisely that. It's just that. It's your infinite love, your infinite creation. That's your heartful flow state, right? You're happy. You're conscious and happy of your actions, what you're doing every day. And you love everything that you do, and everything that interacts with you, and everything that happens is because of your love, because you're creating that with your love. Your love is manifesting everything around you because it's the energy of creation. And when you're conscious of that, then you can love even further, and you keep on loving to infinity because this is who we are. We are the human race. This is our nature, you see. So this is pulse premise. Is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful exercise because it teaches us who we are. Infinite love, infinite energy, infinite creation. And we just create. So I'm going to read a few things, and then this will be this video. Okay. So nature. Vision drives the mission. Vision of our dreams. The vision of our purpose. The vision of who we are, what we love, our purposeful goals, our purpose statement. And the telemetry of that is the result of the readings of everything that we create. The electrogravitics is the love that comes out of it. All these primary elements that we're creating as compass, identity and true self, purpose, time and energy, action, why, how, flow, true north and destination, right? We're proud creators. You got to be proud of your nature, of who we are. There's pride in that. It's beautiful. All the things that we do, all the things that we do, all the things that we do, this singularity that we are, the human heart, incredible species, our 0 point energy that allows us to create to infinity. Energy is creation and creation is life. Love is creation. We love our creations. Love comes from the heart, and the heart gives us life. Life is creation and creation is energy, and love is the energy of creation. Love you all with all my heart, with all my might. Do so as well. That's the mechanism that allows us to be mature. Maturity leads to humility, understanding our nature. Love is energy. Love is life. Love is life. Life and love, they come from the same place, the human heart. Life is creation and creation is energy. Love is the energy of creation. And this is our story as a human race. You see, I share my story with you, my purpose statement, but each and one of us have a purpose statement, a story of our own, and the collective of all that, all of this is our common purpose, is our species, the Republic of Planet Earth. The Republic of Planet Earth Constitution, our story, humanity's story, what happened in the past and what's happening now, here and now, and as a result, what happens in the future because of who we are. Love is infinity. It's a virtuous cycle of compass and sundial. Who we are as infinite eternal creators. We live to love and we love to live. We're co-creators of infinite eternities. This is our nature. You see, we're the space structure density of the electromagnetic field of the human heartbeat. We're light spherical energy. We're light spherical beings. You see, and our technology is that. It's spherical vacuum thresholds. It's coils. Spherical vacuum thresholds coils that they all come together in sets of 64 within a sphere. And that sphere, essentially at the infinite points, at the epicenter of it, all the spherical vacuum thresholds are met. And when that happens, then, it's the tension of the surface that generates this gravity, this electricity. And that spark is a singularity. And it's the infinite energy of our spherical technology that we manifest with our DNA that is encoded in all of us. With what? With the love that is a key that unlocks creation, infinity, which is us. We're the biological expression of that. We're sentient love emotions with feelings. Love equals evolution. You see, when we love, we evolve. No need to fear. Infinite love. You see, follow your heart, the signs and signals. Go for gold and diamonds. Do it all in, here and now. Love with all your heart and all your mind. Why How is the mechanism to manifest infinity. Why How makes infinity come true through action. And the action is to love. Paul's premise, to love with all our hearts and all our mind, our nature. Okay, because this is our nature. This is who we are. Okay, we're sundials. We open our eyes, open our hearts, open our minds, and stare at the sun. We open the portal and build the bridge. We are the biological scale of infinity. We are the cell, the creator. We are infinity. We are the singularity. We are evolution. We are everything that exists. We are eternity and the biological scale. This is who we are, the human DNA, our structure. Human DNA, body, organs, glands, infinity. Love is the highest energy of creation, and we are the biological expression of that. Love is the flow of infinity. We are the highest energy of creation, and we are the human heart. Love is the highest energy of creation. Consciousness, self-awareness, infinite love. Who we are, infinite eternal biology, evolution, singularities of all organs and glands, the resonance. We're energy from the sun. This is who we are. This infinite virtuous cycle of sun and earth as one, creating us as a result. Purposeful goals. This is who we are, the human heart, the key that unlocks everything. Humanity, I love you all with all my heart, with all my might. I love you all with all my heart, with all my might. Remember, this is exercise 6. Paul's premise. I love you all with all my heart, with all my might.